India has successfully hosted its first ever MotoGP race. This is not only the beginning for MotoGP, but other motorsport events in India. In the first episode, we predicted the Ducatis to be on top, and they didn't disappoint us. While it wasn't the factory Ducati, it was one of their satellite bikes. The typical MotoGP weekend comprises of free practice that happens on Friday, qualifying and sprint race that happens on Saturday, and the main race that happens on Sunday. All 3 days were eventful with a lot of action. Even though the MotoGP riders themselves guessed the best time to be a 1 minute 40 flat, they were close, with the best time being a 1 minute 43.9. The hope of the top speed record being broken at BIC was shattered. There was a lot of buzz that the long straight at BIC will see the top speed record being broken, but the top speed record was untouched. Why? Let's take a look. The corner that leads to the straight is a slower corner, unlike Mugello, where the faster sweeping left-hander allows you to carry so much more speed going onto the main straight. Most riders liked the circuit and found it technically challenging. Even the MotoGP guru, our favorite, Simon Crafar, mentioned that it has aspects such as blind crest from Portimao, fast chicanes of Suzuka, and it reminded him of the last corner at Malaysia. Marco Bezzecchi, riding the Muni VR46 Ducati, set the fastest lap in qualification. It felt like the podium was robbed from him due to some friendly fire between him and Marini in the turn 1 of the sprint race. Marco restarted the race and made an amazing comeback, setting faster lap times than the riders in front of him. Even though he came back after a crash, his pace was around 1 minute 44 seconds, while the riders ahead were lapping at 1 minute 45 seconds. The Martinator Jorge Martin took the win in the sprint race, keeping himself in title contention. It was the usual 2 suspects, Martin and Pecco, on the podium of the sprint race, with Marquez seeing a podium after almost 700 days. It was good to see him on the podium. The main race was another story. Turn 1 has all riders converging and can get quite treacherous. On Sunday though, Turn 1 didn't claim any riders. We still had Maverick Vinales being pushed wide. Martin took the early lead but was soon overtaken by the reigning champion Pecco. But he ended up in the gravel. Probably the wrong tyre choice would have led to this. He ran a slightly harder set of tyres. This leaves the championship open with Martin now just 13 points behind. We all knew that Bezzecchi would be a favourite in this race, and we predicted it to be a close race. But Bezzecchi proved to be in a league of his own. He won the race with a lead of over 8 seconds. That's huge. It was a race full of drama for Jorge Martin behind him as the hot and humid conditions got to him. He was seen riding with his suit open and thereafter trying to zip it back up during the race. This gave Fabio Quartararo a chance to move into second before Martin made a controversial move on Fabio, which probably Fabio was okay with later. The stewards had penalized Fabio for a similar incident of opening his leathers in Catalonia in 2021. We all know about it. But looks like the stewards let this one pass with Martin. Do you think Martin deserves a penalty for the suit incident? The next race will be held at the Twin Ring Motegi. Considering it's going to be Honda's home circuit, we hope Honda can find some glory here. It's also a race where we'll know of Marc Marquez's future. Do you think he will stay with the factory Honda, or will he move to Gresini Ducati where it will be an all Marquez lineup? Do let us know in the comment section, and we will see you in the next race.